Hey guys, Ashley here at Joe Gibbs Racing. As you know, there's so many moving parts that go into each race car, and one aspect that's often overlooked is that each driver has their own custom seat. So for this episode of Beyond the Car at JGR, we're going to take you inside the car and go talk to one of the guys responsible for getting the seat ready to race.
Hey, my name's Matt Sauer. I'm originally from Chesterfield, Virginia, and I'm an interior mechanic here in the prep shop at Joe Gibbs Racing. I got my start in racing about 16 years ago when an old guy that's retired now named Rusty Wallace started up what was then a Busch team with Jamie McMurray and some other guys, and my neighbor called me up and said, hey man, we're going to start a team and I want you to come work for me. So seems like a long time ago. Here in the shop, I'm an interior mechanic. Me and one other guy, we put together all the interiors for the 4 teams here at Joe Gibbs Racing, the 11, the 18, the 19, and the 20. We install everything from the seat to the safety equipment and all the little knickknacks that the drivers need to compete and be successful on race day. Our seats here at Joe Gibbs Racing are like most any. They consist of a carbon fiber shell, and then they have a foam liner that's custom fit to the driver. The drivers will pour an insert much like this. They're custom fit to the driver and cut in half so you can get them in and out easy. They're molded to obviously the driver's seat on the outside and then the driver's body shape on the inside. The carbon fiber seats are mounted in the car using a set of steel rails down below. And then they also have a back bracket on the back of the seat which mounts it to the chassis up higher. And then the headrest shell is bolted to the main seat itself, and the driver also has a foam liner for that as well. And it's set to his specific width. And then also for adjustment at the racetrack, they have these shims that you can take on and off and adjust the thickness of these shims depending on what the driver likes that particular racetrack. Also incorporated into our seats is kind of a cool thing, is a cooling mechanism for the driver. So they have this bag that's hooked to a fan that has a fresh air tube hooked to the outside of the car, and this bag will blow up and give the driver fresh air on his back and bottom to help keep him cool throughout the course of a race. Cool safety feature on some of our seats too. The drivers request this little piece here. It's a riblet that helps the drivers kind of feel more secure in their seat, especially at the tracks where there's a lot of load on the racetrack on the race car. Then the seats have a 7-point restraint harness. Here we're looking at Martin's seat belt setup here. Obviously you have your shoulder belts, lap belts, and then belts that come up underneath the driver to keep him secure in the seat in the case of a rollover, all with a quick release latch. When a driver pours his custom foam insert, he usually has to sit in the insert from 20 to 30 minutes until the foam that they pour in as a liquid congeals into a solid, and then the driver can get out and they take that mold out, they'll trim it, scan it, and then they'll CNC cut a lighter weight foam material out as a finished product covered with a fireproof material. The carbon fiber seats, the weight is mandated by NASCAR, and they have to weigh 42 pounds in order to be legal in competition. The driver's seatbelt preferences definitely do vary. Manufacturers, some use Simpson, some use Schroth. Really just depends on the driver, and then the type of buckle to the type of sub belt structure. They're all basically the same, and definitely they have minimum quality standards that NASCAR dictates, but there are some small differences from driver to driver. At the beginning of each season, we talk to each driver, sit down and talk about their likes and dislikes of their seat and seat belt and any changes they'd like to make for the upcoming season. Some drivers will say, hey, I'm okay this year. Some drivers may say, hey, I feel like I've lost a little weight. We might need to re-pour my insert to get it a little snugger. There is some requirements as far as NASCAR is concerned. NASCAR requires the seats to be recertified every 2 years, and they put a recertification sticker on the seat to let us know when it's due. So as from a safety standpoint, there are some things we have to change from year to year. That goes with the seat belts, the seat insert, and really anything related to safety that could affect the driver is heavily mandated by NASCAR. Here at Joe Gibbs Racing, we try to keep 6 seats on hand for every driver. This year we were fortunate enough to win the Daytona 500, so we lost one of Denny's seats. It's in Daytona.